Good afternoon, everybody. See, we got a nice bucket here full of apples. I've already added in 3 pounds and 12 ounces of raisins. You got over 12 pounds of apples I've done mashed up. I got a clean carboy. Now, our recipe calls for 3 teaspoons of yeast nutrient, 3 teaspoons of acid blend, 5 teaspoons of pectic enzyme, 3/4 teaspoons of tannin, 3 Camden tablets, and then in 24 hours I'm going to add a pack of wine yeast. We're going to be using Lavin wine yeast. You see, I've already mixed up all the ingredients into the measuring cup. Tonight I've got a nice glass of wild berry Shiraz. That's my raspberry blackberry wine, one of my favorites. And I've already mixed up 13.5 cups of sugar that I've got over here cooling. Now let me see if I can get you to sit down over here where we can videotape this. I prepared as much as possible to make this hopefully this video will be quicker than the other. I'm going to set this bottle of wine back in the refrigerator. I'm going to set my notebook out of the way so that it doesn't get wet, hopefully. I just got it wet. Looky there. I speak and it happens. All right. I hope everybody's had a wonderful day today. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ingredients. I'm going to pour them into the carboy. Take a little bit of hot water. Rinse out this measuring cup to make sure I get all the ingredients into the carboy. We want to get all the ingredients in there. Hope everybody's had a wonderful day today. It was a lovely day. Nice day to go beat a golf ball, chase it around an 80-acre field. That's what I've done, actually. Like I said, I've done as much as I possibly could to make this video quick. The last one lasted about 18 minutes. Hopefully this one won't last near that long. Now I'm going to grab my spoon. This is the spoon that I was using to stir my sugar. I'll set it up here. Hopefully this video won't be near as long. And I done mixed in my raisins. Now this one is, the apple wine uses raisins as part of the fermentation process. I done mixed in the raisins. Like I said, you got 3 pounds, 12 ounces of raisins with 12 pounds of apples, or thereabouts, almost 12 pounds of apples. I done mixed in all the raisins. And this apple wine, after the primary fermentation, looks like a bucket of mud. Hopefully it turns out to be clear. This will be my second batch of apple wine. Now I'd like to, once again, I'm going to take the opportunity to thank my friends at the Berry Patch in Ellerby, North Carolina for hooking me up with the apples to make this batch of wine. They've been very good to me by helping me out with fruits to make wine with. They're very good people and I greatly appreciate them supporting me and my channel. You just want to spoon in as much as you can here. You notice I use a big rubber band to hold the bag in. If you don't, when you start spooning this stuff in, the bag will fall straight to the bottom. You want to use the bag to keep the pulps. Keep all your pulp and fine material in inside, and it'll keep you from having to do so many rackings. And like I said, I tried to do as much pre-preparation as possible so that it limits the time of this video. If the videos get too long, people won't watch them. Or that's been my experience. The short videos gets a lot of views. These long videos, not so much. I would like to thank all my new subscribers and everybody that's taken the time to watch my videos. I greatly appreciate it. My channel is slowly getting a fan base. I greatly appreciate everybody that's taking the time to watch them. Now this is the second batch of apple wine. It's the second batch of 2023. In Germany, this apple wine will be called Riesling. Like I said, after the primary fermentation, first batch looked like a bucket of mud. So hopefully after it goes through 2 or 3 rackings, it will clear up and look like something. It's been sitting for about 2 weeks in secondary fermentation, and it is starting to clear up a little bit. Now after you get so far down, you can turn it up like this and kind of scoop it in. Makes it a little bit easier and a little bit quicker. Just try not to make too much of a mess. And the apples aren't as easy to crush up, but from what I found, the yeast does a wonderful job with the apples. So I don't think you got to worry too much about getting them crushed up too much, because the yeast seems to do a real good job on these apples. Now, I did spill some, so I'm going to pick it up and put it back in here. I'm going to take some hot water, rinse off my spoon, rinse out the pot. Now I'm going to just pour it right over top. It don't hurt to add water because the recipe calls for extra water. No big deal. You're going to have to add water anyway, so there's no need to worry about it. I don't think I got as many apples this time as I had to start with the first time, but some of the apples were starting to get bad, so I gave them to the goats across the street, and the goats were very happy about it. Alright, now I like to take my bag, twist it up like this real good. Now I ain't got near as much in this bag as I had the first time. Now you can pull it over like this. We can get a good knot in it. Tie it up tight. You don't want none of it. You want all the pulp to stay in the bag. That's the idea. I've got some grapes and stuff out here. All right, we're almost done. Imagine that. All right, my 3-gallon line's right here. We're going to go about 3.5 gallons. Well, that water ain't really cooled off, so I'm going to add cold water to my sugar water before I add it, because I've warped one of these carboys before. Wild Berry Shiraz. What a taste. Very, very good. Now, like I said, you want to let your sugar water cool down to room temperature. This is kind of hot, so I'm going to add some cold water to it. I've warped one of these carboys before by adding hot water. So I'm going to add some cold water to it to cool it down. I would rather not warp another carboy. Alright, I don't know if that's enough to cool it down or not, but hopefully it will. Alright, now you want to take your sugar water, you want to pour it directly over top of your fruit. And I hope I don't warp this carboy. Like I said, I have one time before. And I was on camera when I done it. I was hoping it would cool down to room temperature, but as hot as it is, I'm afraid it's not going to do that. I'm going to add some more. I'm going to add cool water. To get up to the 2.5 gallon line. 3.5 gallon line. Because when you take the pulp bag out, it's going to drop back down. We're almost there. Let's add a little bit more. You want to rinse this pot real good to make sure you get all the sugar out of it. Yeah, it's about 3.5 gallons. A little bit more won't hurt. That's probably about good. That's close. Now, you want to take your bag, grab this top part of the bag. Did I warp the carboy? Go up and down a couple times and make sure you get all that sugar mixed around good. And then push the fruit back down to the bottom before you take your reading. That's the best way to get an accurate reading. Let me wipe my hands off and we'll test this and see what we come up with. Everything has been sanitized with Star San. That's what's in my squirt bottle here. So I'm going to take my turkey baster, fill it up, and I'm going to fill my cylinder up. The first batch was like 18% to start with, and I wound up had to add a bunch of water before I added my yeast. That's probably enough. I'll set that down in my cup of Star San. Let's test this. I'll have to clean my hydrometer. Always clean your hydrometer with Star San before you test it. Anything that touches the wine needs to be sanitized with Star San, restaurant grade sanitizer. I can't see it because there's liquid in there. All right, you got 112.1120. Specific gravity is 1.120. Alcohol by volume's right at 15%. Okay, specific gravity is 1.120. Alcohol by volume is just over 15%, 15% plus. So I might want to add just a touch of water, but I'll test it again before I add the yeast tomorrow night. I'll test it one more time. That's what we're looking at. So now I can put the cap on. Fish out my airlock, which actually all I need to do is put a rag on top of it until I put the yeast in it. But for video's sake, I will go on and fill the airlock with Star San. The airlock's to keep bugs and stuff from getting inside the wine, but it allows the gases to escape. So everybody knows what you're doing. Put Star San inside of there, so if any kind of bugs or anything gets in, they'll die before they get into the wine. But the gases can't escape. There you go, ladies. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up, I'm ahead of myself. Why don't we pour that back in here? Hello. Let's pour this back in. Then we can put a cap on. Rinse my cylinder. Clean my hydrometer with Star San one more time before we put it in protective sleeve.